This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you are watching another episode of Between the Ropes. And tonight, I have my two co-hosts with me for the evening. Number one, that man that we call him Mr. Big and B. And how are you doing tonight, my man?
We're doing good. I would say co-host and a half because we know Dragon Viper, half of his things will be like, I didn't like it.
Oh, whatever.
But anyways, I'm good to be here. Good to talk wrestling.
All right, absolutely. Dragon Viper, how are you tonight, my man?
Living life and trying to get through some things, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
I love to hear it. Anyway, shall we go ahead and get on with it here? Get on with it.
Good.
Big B, first topic I did specific. This first topic was specifically for you because the reason why is because we were debating. No. It's because we were debating this, and I wasn't trying to make this a debate. And I know you said that you wanted to talk about it. Yeah. So and you said you want to talk about it tonight. So I was like, hey, why not? I figured, let's go ahead and talk about this. But we know that Indashir was released. Hi, Gene. How's it going tonight? And so we know that with Indashir being released, there was a lot of things out there that Senga was saying how, WWE pushes viewerships, and especially in India. And he talks about how the numbers show it, but he said then he feels like WWE doesn't push anybody from India. And then he mentions like Jinder Mahal and Veer and Sangha, but understand too, the great Khali was from India. Khali was a champion. Khali was a champion. So I'm just saying, like, he's coming out and saying how he feels like they haven't pushed anybody from India. Now, I know people were talking about how Jinder's actually from Canada, that that's where he's from. But that's here nor there. Anyway, Big B, I would like to hear your side, only because I was saying, like, he was basically complaining that about his release, saying it's because he was from India. But in my opinion, that's why I said, in my opinion, it wouldn't have mattered anyways, because Jinder and Sangha and Veer weren't those guys. Like, I know you talk about Jinder Mahal, and apparently Jinder had a lot of respect backstage. Like, people, I guess there were like some WWE superstars that were kind of hurt that Jinder was released, because there was a lot of them that had a lot of respect for Jinder backstage, and they said, he did what he was asked to do, and just kept his head down, worked hard, and when he was asked to do a promo with The Rock, he did it and did all that stuff. But with that being said, I wanted to hear your opinion on the Sangha situation, like you were talking about. I just want to hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I get what he said. I get what you're saying. I get what all the other fans are saying. Being pushed. I mean, when they came into NXT, and fought. I don't recall him fighting any major superstars. And yes, and then they went to SmackDown for a little bit. Raw showed up on there a couple times. But it's hard to make them, or it's hard to follow these guys and, love or hate them or build anything when they're going in and just destroying everybody. So, and yes, they try to build, up in India. And I'm still trying to think of the other champion that they had back in the day too, that had like a very short title reign too, and I just can't think of what his name is offhand. But yes, I get it. I just think that they could have booked him better. They could have got him with tag teams that could have helped them improve on their in-ring ability. I mean, they even took Shanky when he was big and turned him into a comic gimmick, had him dancing all the time during his matches and stuff. And, so I just think I get his point that they should have tried booking him better. But I mean, I get your point too, that they, you said they didn't have the in-ring talent. I get that, and I just think that they could have booked them better with tag teams that had that ability. I mean, those are two big dudes. I mean, you'd think they would have had some kind of ability, but it just seems like that Vince, even Triple H, when he took over, just didn't seem to have the feel and just wanted to come out and crush people and then went away. So, I mean, I get the release because they had nothing planned, but I just think that they could have tried booking them a little bit better to get some talent to see if they could have improved. I mean, we could sit here and, and talk, a couple of years ago, we were saying kind of the same thing about Dominic, that he needed to go away, get some training, but they kept using him. And I know Dragon Viper's going to kind of disagree, but I think he's gotten and I hope they keep him around. And I just think these guys could have got the same treatment.
Look, and I'm not saying where you're coming from is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply saying that I feel like he was wrong to a degree by saying that no Indian wrestlers have been pushed. That's all I'm saying, is that when he's coming out saying that these wrestlers from India have never been pushed, that's actually false.
Very false.
Because Khali, because as we know, Great Khali was a champion.
Yep. And so was Jinder, and so was...
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of the other young guy that they had for... I think he had the title for a month. I'll have to look. What? I'll have to look it up, but I know there's another India...
What era?
Early 2000s, I think, or mid-2000s. He had the belt for like a month, I think. And if Thomas, if you're on, I know you know who I'm talking about. So, and Tim makes a good point here too. The roster is too big. It is too big for 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of NXT?
NXT, yeah.
Yeah, and then turn around and try to produce a 3-hour pay-per-view or 4-hour pay-per-view sometimes, and
hard.
Try to get us believing in storylines and stuff. So it is a too big a roster. I've been saying that for years, so.
No, I get it. All right. So Dragon Viper, I know you have some thoughts on this too. So what's your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are the same as yours, Ace. I mean, the fact that, they have pushed people from, wrestlers from India in the past. They did push Jinder Mahal at one point. And so, I mean, when he's going off and saying, I don't remember which one's the one, Sangha is the one saying this about, how WWE's not pushing them. Is that who it was?
Yeah, so Sangha was basically saying that the wrestlers who come from India, he feels like WWE doesn't focus on them and give them pushes, even though WWE's trying to push the viewership towards India and everything.
Yeah, I totally agree that they have pushed wrestlers from India in the past, and they continue to try and push them, but you can only push a person so far and so long before you realize that they don't have the talent that they need to have in order to succeed in the business. And I personally have never liked Jinder Mahal. I
Shocker.
don't. I know, huh? But I don't believe he has any, very much talent. And I know the other guys don't have much talent. I mean, so I think it was right for them to be released. I think it's wrong for Senga to say what he said. And, if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. Go back to the indies, go back to, and practice more so that there is something. But if there's nothing there, there's nothing there. So they were right to be released.
And Big B, I thought I could go back. Now Thomas saying he thinks he knows who you're talking about, but he
Yeah.
but he can't remember the name.
It was a very short title reign.
Yeah, I
and
can't remember the name either.
So I went back to be like, hey, I wonder,
It was like right before Kali, I think, or it might have been right after Kali, but it was like right when they started going overseas. They put the belt on him. Yeah, I'm looking too. So,
and I actually haven't scrolled across that name yet. So, I don't know.
I know when I see it. Maybe I'm dreaming. I don't know.
There's a lot of names out here that they talk about wrestlers from India, but I don't see the guy that you're talking about. So I'm not 100% sure on that one.
All right.
But I guess we can keep looking. Was it Singh? Was it Singh?
Singh. Yeah, Singh. What's that?
Tiger Ali Singh?
Is that what he went by? Yeah.
Tiger Ali Singh?
Yeah, because didn't he win and then he was making fun of, and Hogan came out and like beat him down. And that was like the last we saw of him.
Yeah, well, no, there was also Muhammad Hassan.
That's who it is. Muhammad Hassan. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay, Muhammad Hassan.
Yes.
Once you said that, I was like, oh, you're talking about Muhammad Hassan.
Yep.
Yeah,
they only had the belt on him for like a month, and then because something came up in his past that, but they do book him, but again, they just kind of, that's Hassan. That's what Thomas said. Yeah. I knew once we started getting down to it, but it's one of those things where you gotta. I just don't think they booked them right, and yes, okay, good riddance. They got released. Maybe one of them will go back and pitch for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Getting sports, they're all mixed up.
Yeah. Right. Maybe he'll go to the White Sox and pitch for them because they can't seem to pitch either.
Leave the White Sox alone.
Mess around. You're here tonight. So I don't know if you saw what we're talking about here, but we're talking about Senga and Senga.
No idea.
What?
No idea what you're talking about. I just jumped right in.
Yeah, so we're talking about Senga because Senga, from Indashir, and his tag team partner was Veer and Jinder Mahal.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Senga came out and said that the only reason why they were basically released was because they were from India, and that WWE doesn't care about Indian wrestlers from India. And I was like, I disagree with that. Now Big B said to agree, he agrees with it, but
I think it sounds like work.
No, those three are actually cut. Like they actually released those three people.
They'll be on East or AEW Impact soon.
Well, the
Yeah,
only two out of the group that didn't get was Jinder and Beer.
Yeah, and so that's why I wanted to get your thoughts on whether you agree with Sangha that they only got released because they were from India.
Say got released because he sucks and he can't cut it. He doesn't know how to work a mic and he can't work in the ring. The other shit can go though.
Right? Sangha. Sangha, right? All right. Well, we have plenty of topics to talk about tonight, and that was just our first one. So our next one, this one might actually surprise you just a little bit, but there's a method to my madness, and I'll talk about why we're bringing this one up. You see this big picture of Vince McMahon on the screen.
No.
Yep, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because people are talking about how we know he has this clause in his contract that says, as of 2025, his no compete clause or whatever expires in 2025. So you have the Meltzers of the world and these other experts, so-called experts of the world, that are saying that Vince McMahon in 2025 is not that Vince is going to want to stick it to WWE, and so that Vince is going to decide to start his own promotion.
I read about that.
To compete with WWE. So
I don't think he's going.
So
I don't
Big
think he's.
P,
Yeah.
do you now? But there's been other reports too that said, "Hey, Vince is done. He's down a new path. He doesn't want to do anything with wrestling anymore." So do you agree that Vince could indeed decide to start his own promotion to try and stick it to WWE?
No, he's going to stick it to him. I don't think he's going to start his new promotion because, it's going to be a lot of trust, in people that are going to need or that he's going to need in sponsorships and stuff like that. And I just don't think he's got, business sense. Yeah. He's getting up there, but I still believe that when this all started rolling out and your boy Meltzer, threw out that idea, I still think he's going to show up on AEW and they're going to start the whole new war again. I mean, you guys can get me wrong, but say I'm wrong, but if you hear Vince's song or any version of Vince's song come on, you can't tell me that the roof is going to blow off or wherever AEW's at. Or even Impact. Maybe Impact might take a shot and try to get their company started for the 1 millionth time.
Man, you're making that hard.
You just made my head hurt.
But yeah, no, I think he's going to show up after his no compete clause, but I think it's going to be AEW, and I said it right away that's where he's going to be.
I don't know. You actually see them wanting to do that with all of his legal troubles going on?
It's money. That's why I don't think he would get. That's why with all the legal stuff going on, that's why I don't think he would be able to get the sponsorships and stuff to start up a business. But if AEW could bring him in as a silent partner, but have him pop up on the screen every once in a while, that's just going to blow off the roof of AEW and start up the Monday Night Wars again. So,
because Thomas is saying, other than Kevin Dunn, who is going to want to work for Vince?
It's the name. I think nobody wants to work for him, but if you can strike a deal with him as a role, as GM type role, I think that's going to work. I don't think you're going to see him in an ownership role anymore. I think it's going to be Vince, come in, we want your name, or even Shane, but I think Vince would just blow off the roof.
All right, Dragon Viper, what you got for us?
I don't think he's going to be able to start up his own company because Thomas is right. Who's going to want to work, for him? And I pretty much think he's done. And because nobody wants to work with him, nobody wants to work for him. All this legal issues come, with him. I understand Brandon's mentioned about it. It's about the name, and I get it, but I pretty much just think he's done. He's not anybody's going to trust him anymore. Not a lot of people are going to trust him anymore. Nobody's going to want to sponsor him. Nothing. So I think he's pretty much blackballed from at least wrestling, if anything else.
Yeah, but the problem is that some wrestlers who went to AEW, they went there because they didn't want to work for Vince.
Exactly.
So Vince goes to AEW. There's going to be a lot of guys who are like, really? I never wanted to work for Vince in the
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think you bring him in to make him a boss or anything. I think you bring him in as a on-air character, but you use the Vince name and try to draw ratings because it's Vince. And of course, he's WWE, so
I think
it's just like when Hogan went to WCW. I mean, everybody thought he was done, and then he pops up, and the ratings just drew. So I think that's where you're going to get the ratings. Is yes, nobody wants to work for him. Nobody wanted to work for the contract that in the days that they had in WWE, but they went to AEW for a little bit more creative control, less scheduled days. So you bring Vincent, and his sole role is just to put butts in the seats and draw ratings.
I think he's done
100%. I would do it in a heartbeat.
I think he's done and blackballed.
All right, mess around. What you got?
Dude, that guy ain't gonna go anywhere near the public right now. Where everything's going through with all the scandals and stuff, he ain't gonna want to get in front of the camera. He's done. He ain't doing nothing. He'll sit there and live on his little nest egg, pay off the people he has to pay off, and live life, whatever life he's got left.
Yeah. Mess around. The speculation is 2025 when his official contract expires. That's the speculation.
He'll be alive by then.
If he's alive. Shots fired for mess around.
Well, he's old. Jesus.
Yeah, I think he's like 78 or something.
Yeah, I'm saying if he's alive by then.
He's going to be the next GM of your Chicago Bears.
And Tim saying he may not be alive after this court crap ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. But so mess around saying no. Big B has his own opinion by saying he shows up at some point after 2025 in AEW. Dragon Viper saying no, nothing's gonna happen. Now we'll get Christie's thoughts on whether or not that the rumors are circulating, saying that in 2025 Vince's contract officially expires, and people are saying that he's going to start his own promotion to try and stick with WWE.
Nope. And if he did start it, I wouldn't watch anything he puts out there anyway because it's going to be total garbage.
Well, and honestly, nobody's going to want to work for him anyways.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think everybody has their definite own opinion on that one. Mine is that I think Vince is done. Like, I don't see him coming out at any point. I think Vince is going to move on to do something else. I think he's like, I'm done with this business.
He's finished.
And I just don't think he wants anything to do with it. But we'll definitely see. We'll see come 2025. That's going to be the
yeah.
We'll definitely see about that one.
Keep the fingers crossed.
Big B, if you get that right, you better go out and buy yourself a lottery ticket.
If he's live.
Honestly, but you guys have to see my point, though, is that would just be, I mean, okay, maybe it's more of a long shot than it was before all the lawsuits started, but you knew Vince's days were done in WWE. So it's like, okay, you leave, you show up on AEW, and you're just going to blow the roof off the place in the ratings.
Right.
See, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong at all about that. I'm just saying, like, if you're right about that, You better go purchase a lottery ticket because you're winning the lottery.
Right.
And just so everybody watching, if it does happen, I was the first one to say it way back when too. So
Right.
And
Yeah,
if you go buy a lottery ticket and you win it, I get a percentage because I told you to go buy it.
I'll buy that
Give
Chris
him a
Carter
little
helmet
bit.
off you.
Right? Exactly,
Oh,
Tim.
God.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying he's not right.
Right.
So there you go. All right. So bringing in our next one, I brought up Roman. I brought up Roman because we know that kind of what we saw on SmackDown with Solo coming in and saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm the new head of the table." Or not really the head of the table, but I'm like the new leader of the bloodline. And
Tribal chief.
so I'm the new tribal chief and I'm that guy. But now there's a lot of like rumors saying that even they're going to bring Roman back as a face when he returns. Now, again, I'll tell you, if Roman comes back as a face,
Not gonna work.
this is where I have and I know Mess Around and I have talked about this for a very, very long time.
We called it before he turned heel.
What?
We called it before he turned heel. I posted that to him the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're saying though too, like if you remember, we talked about that and we said, hey, when Roman turns heel, it was going to help his career, and it did.
Yep.
And it did. So now, if they turn him back to babyface, what's going to happen? Is he going to go back to the same old boring Roman when he was a face, to where like I'm not a good guy,
I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy.
I'm just
Yeah,
the
right.
guy. So is it going to go back to that Roman to where we have to hear that, or are we going to continue?
This is my yard now.
Yeah, exactly. Or are we going to get this actual like monster Roman that when he was healed was just one of the best things in wrestling when he was a heel? Which Roman are we going to see? Because I don't mind him going back to babyface if he's going to continue to keep up his awesome work, but just don't take him back to the old Roman when he was a face, because I don't want to see that. So
nobody wants to see that.
Mess Around. Since we talked about this before, I'll kick this off with you. What's your thoughts on them if they choose to turn Roman face and go against Solo?
Yeah, if they do that, like you said, they gotta make him still look dominant. They gotta make him look like tough, and, like he is now. And you go back to that boring shit that he was before, and it's still 5 moves of doom. Nobody gonna like that.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna acknowledge him.
Well, yeah, because Thomas is saying though, like Roman is going to be a monster babyface, and I really do. And the only reason I'm saying that is like, if you remember, like on SmackDown, like people were actually going Roman, like they were already cheering for Roman. They were already cheering for him, and it was just the second week of Solo trying to take over the bloodline.
I heard that. I was like,
they're already
we'll
wanting
see.
Roman. They're already wanting Roman back. And it's been that quick.
Fickle. You couldn't wait for him to lose the title. Now you want him to come back.
No.
Well, right.
That's wrestling fans for you.
Nope.
Yeah, I know.
It is. Because it's like I don't know if you saw in the internet world already that there's people who are already turning on Cody after 2 weeks.
Oh, I know.
Like it's been about 2 weeks. There's already people turning on Cody going, well, it wasn't a good decision for him to win the belt, and this title run has already been terrible, and he hasn't wrestled a match yet. And I'm like, here we go. Yeah, I was like, here we go already.
Fickle.
But
Fickle.
all right. But Big B, what is your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do we get Roman this monster face, or do we, like you guys said, the boring old Roman? There's certain guys that are just cut out being heels, and they cut better promos than that. They're just built to be a heel, and he's one of those guys that is just built to be a bad guy, and I don't know if he can convert that into a heel type guy and still be that bad guy type of thing,
Like a player like Orton.
Yeah, Orton could do both, and for I just don't know with Roman, and maybe Roman, disappears until Survivor Series, but to hear the fans cheering, I mean, I kind of said that leading up to WrestleMania that, no matter how the title goes, the fan base ain't gonna like it, and now we see it. The fan base is cheering for Roman to come back. They're already saying Cody's title reign is going to be boring. It's just like, guys, you guys got to let this play out. I mean, I think that AJ Cody match is going to be a great match when it happens. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you 100%. That's a match that I'm looking forward to 100%. Because I think that Cody and AJ Styles match is going to be a banger. 100% is going to be an absolute banger. And I am ready to see that.
Me too.
The possibilities of like the people that Cody can go against, I think is going to be fantastic. And I'm glad that one of them for sure is AJ Styles.
Yeah. Yep. Battle between two former Bullet Club members. I think it's going to be absolute fire. I know I'm gonna enjoy it. It's going to be so good.
So Thomas has a couple things going here. He's going to say Hunter isn't going to put Roman back in the title picture anytime soon. No, he probably won't. It'll be a while.
No, there's no need for it.
And then I think when Roman returns, Solo will take him right back out to get even bigger heat.
He probably will. That's possible.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I believe it.
I know I'm going to regret this because we already know what he's going to say. But
I don't care. Blah blah blah.
We know what he's going to say, but I have to ask him anyway.
Right.
Dragon Viper. Go ahead.
Short, simple, and sweet. Good or bad, he sucks. So it.
You know something. You suck.
What?
And okay, if I look at it if I don't look in my, opinion, if I don't look at how I feel, I think that if I look at other people's point of view, I think Roman does make a better heel than he does a face, and so hopefully. Hopefully he ends up remaining a heel, but if he ends up turning into a baby face, I hope it's not a boring character.
Like Dragon Viper.
Oh my god. And just saying that kind of made me sick a little bit, but in my opinion, good or bad, he sucks. I'm done.
See, at some point, and you can't really deny it there, Dragon Viper. You got to look at it in the eyes of everybody else. At some point, you have to admit Roman is a draw.
If I look at other people's opinion, yes, he's a draw.
Roman is an absolute draw. That's why every time Roman was always on SmackDown, the ratings were always higher, because Roman is a draw. That's why he had that shirt. That's why he had that shirt, needle mover, because Roman actually moved the needle. Like, that's what he did. 100%. Whether you like the guy or not, he drew ratings. That's what he did. And so so Big B, I see you shaking your head too. Like, yes, you're in agreement with that he moved the needle. He did. Like
exactly. He moved the needle. I mean, we saw it every week. I mean, even I will say it, and Ace, I know you're gonna roll your eyes. Brock Lesnar moved the needle when he came back in the whole time. I mean, it's all about money.
Money.
And there's certain people that you can stick out there that if you need viewers, if you need eyes on the product, you know there's certain guys that you're like, oh yeah, I can put out there, and they're gonna bring the viewers.
Goldberg.
And with that,
oh my God, I heard that. Oh God.
I don't think Goldberg's as much as a needle mover as people think. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to throw jabs at Ace thinking he is, but I honestly I don't think he's that needle mover, I don't think.
Bro, Goldberg is terrible. That dude is terrible.
And that's one thing we're seeing now with so far since WrestleMania, Triple H era, even at WrestleMania, you didn't see those guys pop up. I mean, okay, yeah, Undertaker and Cena popped in.
Right.
But you didn't see Hogan. You didn't see Brock. You didn't see, them bringing some of the older legends back to get people to watch WrestleMania because I think they had a great card. They didn't need it. As much as I was watching doing the watch along with Chris and hoping that, okay, we're going to see an interference here. We're going to see a turn. We didn't see that.
You didn't need to. You didn't
No,
need
we
it.
didn't. So that's something I think that Triple H, yes, it's going to be cool to see so-and-so pop up, every once in a while. But, I just don't think they need that now. I think Triple H wants to build the talent they have.
Absolutely. Christy, what is your thoughts?
I mean, I can see Roman coming back as a bit monster, like a monster baby face with heel tendencies, a tweener, I guess you could call it. But I agree. He was indeed a needle mover. I mean, every time I looked at the ratings, they were always higher on SmackDown than they were on Raw, and I was like, it has to be the Roman effect.
It was. It is. It was always the Roman effect. And I know that there was a lot of people out there like Dragon Viper that didn't want to admit it, but when you look at the ratings, it is what it is. Like you could clearly see it. When they talked about merchandise, Roman was one of the highest selling ones. And it's like you can't deny it when it's there, it's there, and it is what it is.
You know why? Because the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, they don't
exactly.
lie.
The numbers don't lie. And that's the thing. And the numbers didn't lie.
Yeah, Roman was like, I think, always in either the top 3 or top 5 for merch sellers in WWE. He was always in there.
In his title run, they said he was always within the top 4. Always within the top 4. And so I was like, you can't in a 3-year span, that's freaking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Made him a lot of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Money.
Absolutely. They said there was several times that they couldn't keep the bloodline stuff on the shelf because it sell out so freaking fast.
Yeah, because people were buying them and burning them.
Are you sure that was you doing that?
Oh,
look, Roman shirt. Buy it. Get the lighter.
Yep,
exactly. Dumb. It's dumb when you do that. It's waste money.
Right? Yep. 100%. I agree with that.
Kind of like Cowboy fans breaking their TVs after their team loses in the playoffs.
We thought we would have to set up like a GoFundMe account for Dragon Viper to raise money to get him a 75-inch flat screen TV. That is if he busted. If that is if he busted his, he didn't. Thank God.
If Roman had won at WrestleMania, I would have needed a GoFundMe page.
Raise money to help Dragon Viper get a 75-inch flat screen TV, 4K.
However,
there was times that during that match I thought they were going to swerve us and have Roman win that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I was scared.
And then I was like, thank God it didn't happen.
I was scared.
But I will say that other thing.
I was honestly hoping for it.
What?
I was honestly hoping Roman would keep it.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't going to happen.
You know what's funny about that?
What's that?
Is there was actually a lot of people on Facebook saying, I hope that WWE has Roman win just to see how pissed off everyone gets.
Right, exactly. That's why I wanted to win too.
I was like, that would have been funny. That would have been the ultimate swerve. Like Roman wins and everyone's like, what the
fuck?
And then they're like, I give up. I'm never watching WWE ever again. What else is on? Oh,
Dragon Viper.
AEW.
And then they say that.
Japan.
And then they say that and they do it anyway. So it's but anyway, because I shared that thing the other day in the chat that talked about last year's WrestleMania, how Vince and Triple H originally said, "Hey,
Cody was going to win.
win," and then a couple weeks prior to they said, "Nope, actually let's change it." And Triple H agreed because
Yeah.
Triple H and Vince were like, "Hey, we feel like this story can be played out in so many better ways if we have him win for one more year." And now looking back at it, it was the 100%
So
right.
right call. Yep.
It was the right call. And why? Because their biggest thing was they wanted Jay to get his solos push. That helped him by continuing to have Roman win last year at Mania. That helped. That helped Jay get his solos push that he needed. And so the stories that they were able to draw out 100% was the right call to
That was
have
right call.
win last year 100%.
If they would have Cody win, we wouldn't have made him a Jay, that's for sure.
No, and honestly, last year Cody winning, I don't think he was, because Cody was big, but he wasn't as big last year.
No.
Right.
So having Cody go into Mania this year and win it, he was much bigger this year. And so
You could partly credit the fans who were tweeting out #We want Cody and signing petitions and all that stuff.
well, no,
They were all like, no, you can't deny him that opportunity.
yeah. So I'm saying, like, you could see how much bigger he was this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the right call. 100%, it was the right call. All right. So going into our next topic here. Speaking of Cody, our next one is.
So what do you want to talk about?
So what do you want to talk about? Our next one is actually Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest.
The fact that I have this?
So what do you want to talk about? So well, the reason I brought these two up is because we know that the draft is coming up. That's coming up very, very soon.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people around the internet world are already debating, being like, who's going where.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how, Damian Priest is going to end up on Raw. Cody's going to, and I was like, no, I don't see that. I think what's going to happen is, I think they're going to want to keep Cody on Raw. So
Right.
I think Cody is going to keep his championship on Raw, and I think that Damian Priest and maybe the whole Judgment Day end up getting drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the way it ends up happening, because I don't think they're going to want to take Cody off of Raw. I don't think they are.
He's a big draw on Raw.
He is.
His segments and matches on Raw usually draw a good number of viewership.
Yeah, and right now, this past week he kind of went back and forth, but but they're not going to have both belts on one show.
No. They've never done it that way.
Yeah, so they're gonna end up figuring out, okay, which one's going. Who's going to be on Raw, who's going to be on SmackDown. And if I had to speculate, they're going to keep Cody on Raw and Damian Priest is going to SmackDown. Probably with the whole Judgment Day, unless they choose to split up the Judgment Day and draft them separately. But who knows?
They better keep our Truth with him because he's awesome in the Judgment Day.
Oh, Priest? Yeah.
Our Truth.
Oh, our Truth? Yeah. My bad, dog. My bad, dog.
What's up?
My bad, dog. All right. First round. So, where's Cody and Damian going?
Cody's going to Raw and Priest goes SmackDown. The only way I see it. I mean, Cody, like everybody said, he is Raw right now. Like Christy said, his segments are the best numbers, his matches. You keep him on Raw. Let Priest go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right. Christy, you agree with that? You're saying that Cody goes to Raw and Damian goes to SmackDown?
Yep. I mean, like I said, I think Cody's matches and segments do draw a good number of viewership. And keep them. Yeah, I can't talk. Holy crap. No, it just makes more sense for Cody to stay on Raw, and it makes sense to move Priest to SmackDown, and maybe they will drop the rest of the Judgment Day, and when Rhea Ripley comes back from her injury, she'll probably join them over there.
All right, and Dragon Viper.
I'm agree as well. I think Cody does very well on Raw. He did when he first showed up, and he's still doing well on Raw. So I think they'll keep him on Raw. And Damian and Judgment Day will go to SmackDown.
All right,
Mysterio match again.
Big B.
I must be turning into like the new Dragon Viper, disagreeing with you guys. I really think they should just keep the titles where they're at. I think they need to just not draft the champions. I think the champions should stay on their respective brands. I mean, I can see your guys' point. Yeah, he's good on Raw, but again, you can build that same character on SmackDown. One, I think SmackDown needs to go to 3 hours. I think that would be a big helpful there. But again, I mean, I kind of like this back and forth where he shows up on Raw, they show up on SmackDown, kind of vice versa. So we'll see where it goes. I think all champions stay where they're at, especially Damian and Cody.
Well, my mic was muted. That was my. Yep, somebody has an echo. We're gonna figure it out. All right. Big
Was
B.
it me?
Was it me?
No, I think it was mess around.
That's
All right.
mess around.
So Thomas is saying SmackDown does not need. You've gone mad.
You've gone mad.
Actually, I agree with Big B. It needs to go 3 hours.
I'd like it at 2 hours.
All right, I'll compromise 2 hours, 45 minutes.
I can only watch a wrestling show for 2 hours. 3 hours, I'm like this.
You know what, Big B? I'll compromise, and I'll tell you 2 hours and 59 minutes.
Okay.
So there you go. I'm compromising.
Compromising. Oh my
Yep.
god.
We'll take a minute off.
Well, and the thing is, too, guys, we got to remember what's going to happen next year when they go to Netflix.
Oh yeah, and I just got a Netflix account, so now I can actually watch Raw on Netflix. That's not the reason I got a Netflix account anyway.
Oh, we know what it is.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay to admit it.
I admit it.
That's right. We're getting feedback off of your. Thomas. No, we
He was
did
a
not actually.
He was at
Why?
TNA Rebellion on Saturday night, and he had a match against Frankie Kazarian. I don't know the results of it.
No. Yeah, I used to watch TNA all the time, but I got to get back to watching it again.
Yeah, Matt Hardy just showed up on
Yeah,
TNA.
I saw that. Yeah,
I saw that too. I was checking social media.
yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He suffered a severe injury to his ear.
Oh, god damn.
Huh.
Oh my god. Yeah, because I think he and Kazarian had like a mayhem type match. I think it's kind of like Extreme Rules,
Yeah.
sort of like that. Tables, chairs, that sort of thing. Hardcore.
Last
Oh,
week
yeah.
of the year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he said it right here.
Oh,
Severe lacerated ear and he needs plastic surgery to repair it. Oh my god.
Kind of like a Mick Foley injury, it sounds like.
Ow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's that Foley type injury.
That's crazy.
Oof.
That is crazy. Well, to finish up, the last thing that I was going to talk about is because people were talking about Seth Rollins, and there has been things going around saying, how long is Seth going to be out for? Well, there's not so far they're saying that hasn't been completely confirmed yet, but they said it could go one of two different ways. They said the first way is that if they don't have to do a very intrusive surgery,
Mhm.
they said it could be maybe like 2 to 3 months, but if they have to go in there and they actually have to do an intrusive surgery on his back, they said it could be upwards of 8 months before
Wow.
Seth Rollins actually
Yeah.
comes back.
Mm. Oh, and Thomas has the explanation of what happened to Eric Young here.
Yeah, Kaz tried a Spanish fly off the
Mhm.
top through a table, but there
Ooh.
was no rotation, so instead
Oh,
they
damn.
went to the side and Young went head first through the side of the table.
Ay,
Ooh.
ay, ay. That's ugh. Sorry.
Shows accidents happen in that
That's-
business.
It does.
It does, and so that's why I make a clarification
Mhm.
when people come out and talk about, oh, you know what, wrestling's fake, and I'm like, it's not fake, it's scripted.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. It's not fake, it is scripted. Like, yeah, they
There's
know
a
the
difference.
outcomes. Everybody knows the outcomes. Everybody knows what's going to happen.
Yep.
But people still get hurt.
Yep.
The injuries that happen, they're still
like-
very real injuries. They still get hurt.
It's like any other sport. Injuries are going to happen.
Yeah, and so half the things that they do, it's still impressive.
They are.
Yeah, so I'm like, I couldn't do half the things that they do
Oh,
out there
God.
either.
Oh,
So,
No,
no.
I would never take. I know I cannot take a bump in the ring.
Yeah,
Forget it. I
and-
will be in pain and crying. Is pretty much it.
And just think of people that want to start in this business, like in the indies. They see what
Yeah.
the pros are doing, so they're doing it in the indies, not
Yeah.
getting paid that much, if anything, and they got to pay their own medical bills. So if
Yep.
there's something that messes up in the indies, they got to pay for it right out of pocket. So I mean, it's a trickling effect.
It is. It really is.
yeah, that's the only, like, once you make it big time, that's the only positive thing, is that if you get hurt, like WWE and stuff will pay for it.
Yeah, they'll take care of you.
Yeah, and so Thomas is saying that those ropes last night were loose.
Mm-hmm.
They're also saying the table was set up long ways instead of the normal way it normally is.
So it's kind of set up like this when it's normally set up like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Wow.
So, I was gonna throw this out there
Okay.
to see if if our viewer Thomas would be interested in this. I was thinking next week, we do a special, and we do a special, and we call it old school wrestling, and we go from like the 90s through the Attitude Era.
Oh.
And we do a special on that, and an open invite to Thomas who wanted to join us next week for a special show.
Ooh.
I didn't watch wrestling back then. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
Throwing it out there to Thomas to see if he wants to join us next week.
Well, he said he likes the idea, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
He does.
said he likes that idea. So Thomas, if you want to join us next week, let us know, and we will make sure that you get the link. And you are more than happy to hop on here. You're more than welcome. So just let us know if you want to do that. All right, Big B, you said you had some Big E news.
Well, I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, I know it came out that he said he's not cleared. He feels great, but he doesn't think he'll ever get cleared to wrestle again, and that really sucks. I thought for sure he would have a great career. I hope things change for him. I hope he does get cleared. But again, I get his wanting to give us the update, because I think my son included was hoping that he would have showed up at WrestleMania, got into the Battle Royal and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But, I hope maybe they bring him back as a trainer, promoter, producer, or even
Commentator?
bring him back, a commentator. Yeah. So I think that's something to look forward to. But,
Yeah.
best wishes to Big E, and hopefully he does get cleared in some manner.
Yeah.
And if he ever gets, I've got to say this, if he ever gets cleared and comes back to the ring, he needs to do his own thing. Stop, be his own character. Don't go back
Teams
to
up
the
and
New
down here.
Day. No. He was better as a single competitor. He should not be in the New Day. And if he ever gets cleared and gets back in the ring, have him go back as a singles competitor, not be with the New Day.
Could you picture Big E as a commentator alongside Vic Joseph on NXT?
So Thomas is saying, yep, he should replace Booker T.
Right.
No,
I don't know. Booker's doing fine.
Big E needs to go on Raw and be with Pat McAfee.
No, replace McAfee.
No, trio. It sounds perfect. Michael Cole, Pat MacAfee, Big E. It's gonna be awesome. No, I like McAfee.
Jeez. Boy, they.
Well, anyways, we're at that point now in the show. It's pretty much time to go ahead and wrap it up. It's been a fun show. We've had some good conversation tonight. Big B, we'll go ahead and we'll start with you for any final thoughts that you have for us this wonderful evening.
No, it's always great to get on. It's always good to talk wrestling and other sports. And I just got a little hint that we possibly could be seeing a stable show up Monday starting this week, possibly due to the fact that a wrestler that was supposed to be at a local show had to back out. Of course, he couldn't go into details, but again, we might see something brewing sooner than later. So, but with that being said, hopefully, Thomas, you join us next week, and I thank everybody for watching.
Yeah. So, Thomas, are you going to be joining us next week? And so it says Booker's doing fine. Booker's doing fine? Question mark. Booker doesn't even know what the hell's going on most of the time.
I don't know.
And then he said, "Great show tonight." And then also, I don't think Uncle Howdy returns just yet. Probably not.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's just going to continue with the teasing.
Dragon Viper, any final thoughts for you? Tell me what you think.
Thank you, everybody, for
It
watching.
doesn't matter what
commenting.
you
Hey,
think.
you know what? You didn't say it correctly, so you can't. But anyway, thank you for everybody for watching. And I'm distracted. And I hope everybody has a great week.
All right, Christy, any final thoughts for you?
All right. First, thanks for watching. And by the way, shout out and a big congratulations to the new AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland. That's why my thing says whose house is he won tonight at AEW Dynasty. Please get rid of the dinosaur, Big B, please.
Really, Big B?
So stay tuned for Coast to Coast for all kinds of awesome stuff coming up.
All right. So thank you everyone for watching. It's been a fun show. Had a lot to talk about tonight. We'll have even more to talk about next week. We have a lot of things going on this week. And even don't forget, this coming Saturday, the 27th, is the opening day for the Oregon Cougars. So we will be live streaming that right here on C2.
Round 1 Thursday.
Yeah, and then round 1 for the NFL draft on Thursday.
Draft day.
There's supposed to be we have a draft show going on there.
Yep, Mr. Bacon and Tim Hendricks will be doing their second. Well, Crispy's third, but we'll be doing an annual first round coverage of the draft, so watch out for that.
Ooh,
Love
nice.
it. All right. So we have our draft show coming. The Oregon Cougars opening game is this coming weekend. So for that, everyone have a great week, and we will see you all next Sunday. Have a fantastic night.
Dominant.